This week on the Feel Good Flyover, incarcerated veterans find unexpected healing. A shy young woman conquers her fear of rejection in the most creative way. And a rescue dog follows her instincts and becomes a hero. Plus, 4 miracle babies break a world record. A beloved 95-year-old cashier clocks out for the last time. And a 135-year-old tortoise becomes a first-time father, just in time for Father's Day. These are the stories lifting hearts across the country, and they're all right here on the Feel Good Flyover. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Feel Good Flyover. I'm Amy Hess, and I truly believe you are meant to land here today. Whether you're on a walk, in the carpool lane, or just stealing a quiet moment for yourself, this is a show that highlights the good stuff, the stories that spotlight hope, kindness, resilience, and everyday people doing extraordinary things. On a personal note, this one's been a long time coming. I first dreamed up a show like this back in 2016, and now nearly 10 years later, I have been given the incredible opportunity to bring it to life. I believe God's in the details, and launching this podcast is a reminder to me, and maybe to you, that He's always working behind the scenes. Each week, I'll bring you uplifting stories from the Flyover newsletter, along with a few fun surprises. It's quick, it's hopeful, and it's meant to leave you feeling just a little lighter. Before we jump in, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know your favorite types of feel-good stories in the comments below. We're all on this thing together. All right, let's get started. Here are your top headlines of feel-good news. From healing through horses to fearless self-confidence and one very intuitive rescue dog, these stories are a reminder that hope shows up in all kinds of ways. Our first story: in a quiet corner of a Texas jail, some veterans are finding a path to peace by building trust with horses. It's part of the Valor program, a rehabilitation initiative inside the Collin County Jail, created specifically for incarcerated military veterans. Launched in 2018 and led by Vietnam veteran Pat Puckett, the program combines horse-assisted therapy with mental health support and anger management. The work isn't just about riding. Inmates learn to earn a horse's trust through calm, nonverbal communication. And that process has led to some remarkable breakthroughs. Many participants start out anxious or even afraid. After all, not everyone walks into a round pen ready to stand face-to-face with a 2,000-pound animal. But horses are sensitive. They pick up on emotional cues, often sensing when a person is struggling. During one session, a veteran was reduced to tears when a horse slowly placed its head in his lap, sensing that he'd finally overcome his fear. Another participant, a 27-year-old Army veteran who previously served as a signals intelligence analyst, credits the program with helping him break his cycle of addiction. Since leaving jail, he's been hired to work at a horse ranch in California, where he's learning to pack mules and lead camping trips throughout the mountains. And for others, like Navy veteran and former emergency nurse Ashley Davis, the program offers something more: a way to pause and reset. She said, "Working with the horses has helped me recognize when I'm starting to struggle. It's giving me tools in my toolbox that I can take with me so I don't sabotage my life again." That moment came to life for her during an exercise where she stood in silence with a horse, placing her hand gently on its forehead. She focused on her breath, slowly calming herself until finally the horse lowered its massive head in submission. A quiet victory built on trust. That kind of transformation hits deep because the truth is, many of these veterans are carrying invisible wounds. Nearly 1/3 of U.S. veterans have been arrested or jailed at some point, which is twice the rate of civilians. The Valor program is working to change that by giving these men and women the skills and the space to rebuild. Each cycle ends with a trail ride, and now there are plans to build permanent stables so even more veterans can take part in this powerful path towards healing. After a painful breakup, 23-year-old Sophie Jones from England realized something big. She wasn't just hurt. She was afraid of rejection, so she gave herself a challenge. Every day, she would do something awkward or uncomfortable in public on purpose. She's worn a wedding dress to the supermarket, asked strangers to swap shoes, and even strutted around in rainbow wigs and comedy glasses. Her goal? to desensitize herself to rejection and to stop caring so much about what other people think. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd be nervous asking a stranger to borrow a pen, let alone their shoes. The idea comes from, quote, rejection therapy, a concept that's gone viral in recent years. But for Sophie, it's more than content. She says it's changed her life. Quote, I just see life as more of a playground now, she explains. When your head says don't do it, that's when you should. There's something contagious about watching someone do the thing that makes them cringe and then laugh about it later. It's bold, it's awkward, and it's honestly kind of brilliant. She's gained over 350,000 followers on TikTok, but more importantly, she says she's gained confidence, clarity, and a freedom she never thought possible. And maybe the best part, she's helping others see that embarrassment isn't the end of the world. Sometimes it's the beginning of something better. A rescue dog named Sienna is being praised after showing what some are calling a life-saving instinct. At an adoption event in Campbell County, Virginia, Sienna, a former stray, was calmly making her rounds when she suddenly walked up to a man she'd never met. She sat at his feet, placed her paw on his leg, and refused to leave. Moments later, the man's wife returned and realized what was happening. Her husband was showing signs of an oncoming seizure, something Sienna seemed to detect before anyone else. The family had been searching for a dog with that kind of ability, but with 3 pups already at home, they couldn't adopt. Still, they wanted to share the story to help Sienna find her forever family. Shelter staff say they were stunned, not just by her calm presence, but by her clear instinct to help. Sienna's story has since gone viral, donations poured in to cover her adoption fees, and applications were a steady stream. We're happy to share a little good news. Sienna has officially been adopted. She's joined a loving family with 2 young boys and a strong heart for shelter pets. From the moment she met them, Sienna picked her person and gave every volunteer and officer one last hug and kiss before heading home. The shelter said it best, quote, we always delight in happy endings. We will miss you dearly, but we know you will flourish. Happy tales, Sienna. You're already a hero, and now you're home. Now for some more good news, because not every feel-good moment needs a full story to make an impact. Here's a few that are worth a smile, a nod, or maybe even a fist bump. First up, 4 babies, 1 record-breaking miracle. The Bryant quadruplets were born 115 days early at a UAB hospital in Alabama, making them the most premature surviving quadruplets in the world. Against all odds, Lainey, Callie, Lennon, and Cohen, and in that birth order, celebrated their first birthday this spring. Their mother said, there were so many times we were so close to losing one of them, but I kept saying, we came in with 4 and we're taking 4 home. We were going to do whatever it took to get there. And that they did. They are all at home, healthy and thriving. What a blessing. Now, from tiny miracles to one timeless wonder, just days before turning 95, Wilma Isles celebrated her retirement after more than 20 years as a Kroger cashier, still driving herself to work until the very end. Known for her warm smile and signature hair bow, Wilma was honored with gifts, hugs, and a party from coworkers and customers alike. Her fellow retiree, Judy Budnick, also said goodbye after 17 years and plans to spend her retirement tending to her butterfly and hummingbird garden. Next, get ready for your daily dose of joy and maybe a happy tear or 2. In Edmonton, Alberta, 2 brothers with special needs just had what they called, quote, the best day of their lives. Davin and Eric, lifelong Oilers fans, had never been to a game until influencer MD Motivator surprised them with tickets to the Stanley Cup Finals and $1,000 in cash. Their reaction? Pure joy and immediate generosity. They handed the money to a stranger in need right there in the store. That really got me, to see that kind of empathy and care. And for them, the cherry on top, the tickets came from hockey legend Wayne Gretzky himself, who met the brothers at the game and signed a jersey just for them. And finally, a love story 135 years in the making. At 135 years old, Zoo Miami's oldest resident just became a first-time dad and broke a record doing it. Goliath, a 517-pound Galapagos tortoise, welcomed his first hatchling this month, marking the zoo's first successful tortoise birth ever. The baby's mother, Sweet Pea, is estimated to be close to 100, making this possibly the oldest first-time parent duo in history. One zoo rep put it best, quote, "This Father's Day, Goliath reminds us it's never too late to start something new." Next up, it's time for our video of the week. And it's one of those videos that just melts your heart. It's a sweet moment between two twin baby boys side by side, grinning and cooing at each other like they've got their own secret language. It was recently reposted on Instagram, and the caption reads, "And just like that, it's been a year since our twins discovered each other." And honestly, it's pure joy, the kind of clip that reminds you how deep that twin bond can go, even before they can talk. In the initial post on TikTok, their mom wrote, "My heart could explode. I hope they'll always be best buds." And judging by the 59 million views and counting, a whole lot of people feel the same way. This one's a smile on loop. All right, before we close, you know we got to squeeze in one more smile with a joke or riddle. All right, you ready? Here it is. How does NASA organize a party? They plan it. I mean, they do. And they probably send out invitations via satellite. Get it? Planet, the solar system? All right, you got that. All right, before we go, I want to introduce something special I'll be doing. It's called Amy's Altitude Check. This is a space for a little encouragement, helpful tips or mindfulness techniques, just something to lift you up as we head into the weekend. This week's encouragement comes from Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. When life gets loud or uncertain, that verse reminds me, I don't have to fix everything. I don't have to rush. I can just be still. So if you felt anxious, distracted, or pulled in too many directions, and believe me, I have been there, here's something simple you can do while you think about being still. It's called the 4x4 breathing technique. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and rest for 4. You can repeat it as many times as you need. It's a small pause, but it really can shift everything. So as we head into the weekend, may you find a moment to breathe and remember you're not alone. All right, that's it for this first episode of the Feel Good Flyover. Thank you for spending a little time with me and for choosing to focus on the good. It's out there in the little moments, the quiet kindness, and the stories that remind us that hope is still alive. If you heard something today that lifted you up, I hope you'll share this with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's dose of Feel Good news. Want even more Feel Good stories? Check out our email edition at jointheflyover.com. It's free and easy to sign up. And in addition to your weekly dose of uplifting news, you'll get a daily dose of no-spin headlines to keep you in the know without the noise. Until then, keep looking up and focusing on the good. I'll see you next Friday.